As my YouTube channel gained popularity, the one question I got most from fans was, why is your channel so horny? And that made sense because over half of my videos on the channel either were about sex or alluded to like fetishes or kinks or something in the thumbnail title or the actual video itself. When you're a teenager, all sex is sexy. Anything remotely sexual is sexy. But as you grow older, you realize that sex itself has sort of a lot of facets to it. Naturally, sex can be sexy, but it could also be embarrassing, humorous, enraging, cringy, dramatic. There's so many things that sex can be aside from just perverse, sexy, I guess. Sex is an interesting topic and is still fairly taboo in modern society. Bleh. So it's fun to like make videos about it. If I figured out that people get turned on by sneezes, why not spend a month making the perfect video for that? I call an AI and the AI starts talking sexy to me? Of course I'm going to put that in the title. Belle Delphine made a Pornhub account. Well, naturally I have to make fun of that. And I'm not an idiot. I know stuff like this will get views. But I didn't put sex or kink or sexting in the titles in an effort to be like, let's all be perverted together. In my mind, it was more just like, okay, sex gets people in the door, but because we're all mature adults on the internet, we'll... what a sentence. But because of that, we'll be able to watch this video, recognize that despite the inclusion of sex, the purpose of the video is not to be sexual, it's to be funny or entertaining. So what began to happen as a result of my foray into sexual topics is that a pretty good number of people would go into the comments and then type out some very disgusting shit. That's not what I wanted those videos or my channel to become. I don't want this to become a platform for people to go to thinking, hey, this guy talks about sex a lot, that must mean he just is okay with everything now. So now what's happened is that a not insignificant number of my audience now is comprised of these new people. The people who say those things in my comments and who, frankly speaking, disgust me. And this is unfortunate because I don't want my channel to become that sort of platform. And sex itself covers such a broad, complex expanse of topics. BDSM, kinks, fetishes, sex and healthy relationships, porn consumption, STDs, hookup culture, things that should be covered and talked about in a casual and mature manner. And I assumed that that's what I was doing. But like, no matter what your assumption is or your mindset is when delving into a topic such as sex, you should be aware, and I should have been aware, that there are going to be people out there who will twist it and make it perverse, because fucking people sexualize non-sexual content all the time. So obviously if I'm putting out content that's straight up sexual, there are going to be people on YouTube who take it way too far. And ideally, we should be able to be wildly horny and possessed by a desire to engage in rough, raw, animalistic passion and urges, and still be able to discuss those passions and urges responsibly. So in addition to serving as an explanation for why I deleted so many videos from the main channel and why I created this, the second channel, I also want to take the opportunity now to say clearly and without room for misinterpretation that I would love to have you here as a part of my audience if you are a sexual deviant or a freak or someone who enjoys sex and the topics that revolve around it. But I need you to have self-control. And if in your head right now you're already acting indignant and you're thinking, but wait a minute, I'm not gross, how could I be gross? Like, how could you not expect me to touch myself? If you're showing me videos and footage of girls doing sexy things, and you're talking about sex, and you're saying the word sex, and you're talking about boobs, and you say kink, and blah 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 blah, just please don't stick around. Just please, this is your invitation to go somewhere else. So yeah, for the rest of you who are able to handle this type of content and are just generally interested in the tackling of a taboo subject and the inherent entertainment found within, great! Thank you for sticking around and for being mature. I would love to have you as part of my audience, and I hope this is okay for you. And as I gain more subscribers, I know I'm a small YouTuber, but there is growth in my future, I hope. And I want to be able to nip this problem in the bud before I wake up in 2 years and realize that 80% of my audience is comprised of sexually repressed men who pleasure themselves to Instagram models and value their own sexual gratification over the humanization of the people that they're masturbating to. And this doesn't mean I'm going to stop making content based around sex entirely. It just means I'm going to be tackling videos that deal with sex in a more responsible way. And that's like one of the contributing reasons to why I created 2 channels. I sort of want the sex stuff that I end up making to be more scripted and thorough and well thought out. And I think all the scripted stuff that's more artsy, that like I've taken time to make, like a month or so, will go on the main channel. Like the main channel is going to be the thing where everything scripted goes, and they really only upload like once a month or once every 2 months. And that sort of explains the difference between that channel and this one. The channels are growing, they're evolving, they're changing, they're crawling into their cocoons as stubby, aggressively phallic creatures and wrapping themselves in silk, and then hopefully emerging forth from the cocoons as better formed, well thought out butterflies. And I hope you enjoy those changes. And I hope you guys stick around and enjoy depressed laughter and too depressed to laugh.